Hi everybody, welcome back to my Cook at Home with Tonya series here at Cooking on the Bay. We are cooking all low carbohydrate and healthy fat dishes in this series, and at the moment we are on a bit of a vegetable challenge to eat 30 different vegetables in a week. So I thought I would do a couple of vegetable dishes to help you on your way. Now, some of them don't take very long, as you know. You can steam your vegetables very quickly. Others do take a little bit longer. These mushrooms are going to be stuffed today, so they take a little bit longer, but they only took me about 15 minutes the other night, and basically that was fine in amongst tossing some other vegetables, making up a salad and cooking my meat for the evening dinner. So we're going to start off with some spinach. We're going to steam the spinach. I've washed the spinach. About a handful of spinach. This is just for 2 people, 2 mushrooms. A handful of spinach. I've got a little bit of water in there, and I'm just going to bring that to the boil and steam it. It only takes a few minutes. Get my parsley cooked. So I'll just put it over here. Now, with the mushrooms, we want to put those into the oven, and we want them to be slightly softened because they are big. If you're using smaller mushrooms, you may not need to do this for quite so long, or you won't need to do this for quite so long. But I'm going to take out the stalk. Now, I didn't do this the other night for us because I thought the stalk was going to be adding some flavour, which it does, but I'm going to chop up the stalk and put it back in with our mixture, okay? So do not waste it. There's a lot of flavour in your stalk. It just means we can get more stuffing into the mushroom if we take it out. Okay, so just take it around there. Don't have to be especially neat and tidy. Just take it out as much as you can. There we go. And then we're just going to, I'll chop that up in a moment. We're just going to oil it inside. Oh, and I did actually, that's what this paper's here for. I did actually wipe these mushrooms before, and I had the paper there just to remind me to do it. So I did wipe them. You never wash mushrooms, you just wipe them with a dry cloth. These days, especially the cultivated ones, which they all are, you just want to wipe them to get any dirt off. So I just put a little bit of olive oil in the middle, salt and pepper them. We're going to pop them in the oven for about 10 minutes to soften, okay, so that, because the stuffing that we're going to stuff them with will be cooked and ready to go. So a little bit of your extra virgin olive oil, a little bit more salt and pepper on the top. And then we'll make our stuffing while this is wilting in the oven, and then you just have to put it back in the oven for a few minutes just to get it all heated up again and ready to serve on your dinner table. So I'll pop these in the oven. Okay, so that'll be 10 minutes. 10 minutes, close enough. Okay, I've just taken the mushrooms out of the oven, and you can see that they're nicely softened. So all we will have to do with them is to fill them and reheat them and pop them back in the oven for about 180-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So in here we're going to put a little bit of oil. We're going to cook our bacon. There's about 1 or 2 small rashers, short rashers of bacon, which I've chopped up. This is for 2 people, okay, so just remember it's for 2 people. So I'll heat the pan, and I've squeezed out, can you see this, Michael? I've squeezed out all the water from the spinach, and you can see that handful of spinach has come down now to a very small handful here. Okay, so you do need to chop it up just a little bit. So I'll just give it a rough chop so that set it to one side. And when this is hot, which will be in a couple of minutes, while that's heating up, I will just roughly chop up the mushroom stalks. You just want them nice and small because they're all going into the mushroom. You don't want to have big bits, so just as finely diced, I guess, as the bacon there. And as I said, you don't have to take them out. You're welcome to leave them in, but don't throw them out. You have to eat them. I might put it on this wok burner to start with to get it going so we get it hot. So we've also got some cashews, about 2 tablespoons of cashews, which I'm also going to toss in the pan to get nice and golden. And to add a little bit of luscious flavour to it all and a bit of crunch. So here we go, we'll put the bacon pieces in. I'll cook up the bacon. Turn on. I'll pop these in too. Because there's a few little crumbs in there in the cashews, you just have to be careful that doesn't get too cooked too early. Just a little bit of extra mushroom. Okay. So to this, as I said, we've got our little bits of pinch or so of thyme. Just about pinch. We'll add our mushrooms. This goes especially well with a piece of steak. Really well. I might just add a little dollop of butter in there. Add a bit of luscious flavour. We'll pop in the garlic, just very finely chopped. 2 small cloves of garlic. Turn that down a little bit. Just a little bit. You can smell it starting to golden up. It's the most beautiful smell of nuts. Just turned that off, so I'm going to let that sit there for a minute because the bigger bits obviously are going to cook a bit slower than the very tiny bits. So now I'm going to put our spinach in. So you can see I squeezed it out as much as I could. This could be a little bit more than enough for 2 mushrooms, but you can always put it to one side and just have it as part of your vegetables for the next night if there's too much. I'm going to put some salt and pepper in there. Not too much because of the bacon. A bit more pepper. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon, a big tablespoon of our nut butter. So you can get, that's quite a big tablespoon, I'll put in 2 tablespoons altogether. You can have a almond nut butter, macadamia nut butter, cashew nut butter, which you can buy at I buy it at the South Melbourne Market, the nut shop, but you can also buy it in health food shops. So it's just a very natural nut butter, which is really very nice. And I'm going to slosh in a little bit of the sherry red wine or sherry. I've got sherry here. Sherry vinegar, just to deglaze the pan a bit and to just give it a little bit of balancing out of the flavours a bit, plus deglazing the pan. Okay, so we're now going to pop that in our bowl, mix it with our... I might just wilt the spring onions in there quickly, just to give, so they're not too, just to wilt them a bit. We don't want them too crunchy, those spring onions. We want them to be wilted. You see the lovely colour and flavour in there? Beautiful. I'll just have a taste before I take it off. Delicious. Oh, that's really so nice. I really wish you could taste some of these things, so you'll have to make them for yourself and let me know how much you love them. But that flavour is beautiful with the nuts, the nut butter, bacon, garlic. I mean, it's all beautiful ingredients, and thyme, a little bit of the mushroom in there. So now we're just going to add a little bit of chilli. I'm just going to put a tiny little pinch of chilli in. You can have as much as you like. Michael doesn't like that much chilli, so we just put a little bit. Very small pinch. And I have some parsley, so I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. And I'll save a little bit for the top as a garnish. And about 2 tablespoons of my freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano, just a couple, and I'm going to put some more of that on top. This isn't a tablespoon, I know, that's a teaspoon, so I put in about 4, but I'm going to save 1 extra, the tablespoon, to put on top, so it's got a nice cheesy topping to it. And I think that's everything. It certainly doesn't need any more salt or pepper. So we've got our thyme, our chilli. You can put a little bit of these nuts in as well. So I'll put in some of those to give a nice crunch, and then we'll put some on top as a garnish also. Put that there. Okay, so here we go. So we'll now just put over the mushrooms and fill them, and then pop these. I think I might have enough for about 4 here. So just, you can always keep the filling for tomorrow night or the next night. It'll keep well in the fridge for a few days, and you can have it again. So you're one step ahead. So in here we've got spring onions, parsley, some thyme, spring onions, garlic. So how many vegetables is that altogether? There's quite a few already, isn't there, before you even have your added greens on the side for your dinner. So we're just going to top it got just a smidgen left that I will throw into something else, which we will think about tomorrow. And top it with a little bit of cheese. Cheese. Lovely Parmigiano Reggiano. And the remainder of our nuts. Do it with my fingers as well. Squash them in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So in those, I'll put those nuts into my bowl there. So now they're ready for the oven, and so they'll go in, and about 10 to 15 minutes, after 10 minutes I'll have a look, and then we'll bring them out and we'll serve them on a plate. Okay. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. A quick turn around. And there they are. And they smell really nice. Really nice. And so I'm going to pop them on out of the serving. You could have this as a lovely entree, little lunch dish as well, with a nice salad. How good is that? And I'll just put a little, put my oil away. Just put a little glistening olive oil, liven it up, and a little bit of parsley, just finely chopped parsley. And oh my goodness, it smells so good, everybody. It's just a lovely combination. When I was adding up my vegetables in there before, I forgot the spinach. So there's quite a few nice vegetables for our vegetable challenge. So do make it. It will take you about 15 minutes in total. So there it is.